Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another unboxing and it's from the Spider Shop. I love ordering from the Spider Shop at the minute. They've got tons of new stuff in and they consistently get it all the time. But getting the deliveries I did before 1 PM, so the special delivery, but it seems to have come split. I've got this one which says 2 of 2, so there's another box and that's coming later on this afternoon, so later than expected, but I've got nothing else planned, so that's not a problem. But I've never had that before with the deliveries. Normally they come as and when expected, so if it comes this afternoon by 4, I'm not bothered. So I know what I've ordered, but now I don't know what's coming in what parts. I don't know what's in here, but I'll know what's in the second one from what's not in here. So let's just get straight in and see what I've ordered. A couple of new things that I haven't got. So some that I've wanted, some that I've had. So we'll go through it as we look into here. So it's probably going to be a box within a box. Let me just clear out some of these peanuts. Just remove this one. There we go. So I'm actually intrigued to see what's coming now and what's later on. So just see what we've got. And there's something new in here that I've never had, so I'm really hoping they're in good condition. Let's get in here, pop that open. Right, heat pack's just gone cool because it's absolutely freezing where I am. Right, so I think a lot of the stuff's going to be coming in the second box. Let's get this out. Because in here I've got the Kelky worms, small ones for slings, and I've got silent micro crickets, the tiny ones. So I needed those, so I'll just put that out of the way. So there is some stuff in here, so let's have a look. I actually think it's all in here, so I don't know what's coming. Ah, right, I do. That's it. So all the spiders and everything are in here, but in the other one I ordered loads of substrate and everything like that. So that's coming in the next, which is brilliant. So I've got some jungle mix and some few other things. So that's absolutely perfect. It's always hard to remember what you've ordered when you've done tons of stuff. So if you remember on a previous video, I did an unboxing and I had something different in there, which was the Atlas caterpillars. One of them was died straight away and the other one died literally within 2 to 3 hours after. And obviously I waited for a couple of days to make sure and that they weren't going into a molt or anything like that. So I did my research and I understood, but they did definitely die. So I was quite gutted with those. So Spider Shop, brilliant. They helped me out and sorted me out with something else, which is absolutely brilliant. But I was still intrigued because I wanted to get those and do those. So in here, I have ×2 Atlas, but it should be cocoons. So these are brilliant when you get them as cocoons, as you can see in there. I'll give you a close up. So there we go. So basically you can see which way they go up is going to be at the top, and you can actually slow these down by putting them in lesser temperature. So they don't hatch as quick. But if I get them in about 28, 30 degrees temperature, then they're going to hatch a lot quicker, and they should hatch by end of Feb, end of March. And I'm going to let them, I've got plants and stuff in this room, like real plants all behind the camera and things like that. I've got a big palm down there, which I'm just getting a bit of sunlight to. So they've got stuff to go on and they can hang off the shelves. So they're going to free roam in here. So that is going to be extremely interesting to see in the next month if they hatch. And then if I get a male or a female out of those, that would be absolutely brilliant. So what we do is I'm just going to hang them up from the top on one of the shelves over by my hottest area. And then just lightly mist actually on the actual cocoon itself, because they think they need up to about 80% humidity. So I keep a few plants over there, water, so it's a bit more humid over there, but I'll mist directly on those. So that's going to be a brilliant one. So that's here, really happy with that. Right, so then what else did I do? I did a breeding pair. I think if you've seen on the Spider Shop, you would have seen they do breeding pairs and stuff like that, but they did this new deal where you get 3. I can't remember the price. I think it wasn't too cheap, but you get 2 females, and it's the Tarantulas species Cansada. I can't remember the exact pronunciation of the name. So you get 2 females. I'll put it on the screen there. And you get a male as well. So I'm going to rehouse those, probably in my glass enclosures up here, this sort of side. I've got a few of them free, and I think they were 7 centimeters, something like that, but they grow quite quick. So I'm going to slow this male down, keep these 2 females going, and see if I can get them to breed, which would be absolutely amazing, because I don't think there's any of these in the hobby in the UK at the minute. I mean, if you have got some, obviously prove me wrong and put it in the comments, but I've not seen anything with these. So if I can get these bred, it'd be absolutely brilliant, because I've got a T Rasty, a Tarantulas Rasty, which is a female, and my other one was a male which just passed away straight in a molt, which I was gutted with. But they're becoming a little bit easier to get hold of, so it's really good that I've got these as well. So I'm going to look for another T Rasty and then breed those. So what else have I got in here? I'll have to show you these. I'll rehouse these ones in a minute. That'll be done in its own video. These I'll just hang up. I'll probably show you at the end where I hang them to. And then I think I've got 2 of these, and they're only slings, so I'm not going to be too bothered. Oh, one of the lids is open. Pop that close. Right, so the I think it's a Stromatopelma calceatum. So I've had these before, and I had up to about 10 centimeters, and then I gave it away free. I think both of them to a pet store, so like a local pet store. So, and then they moved them on because I was moving into this room, and they needed a bit more humidity and a bit more looking after. So I just didn't have the time at the time. So I want to do these from slings, which they can be tricky, and these also can be slightly feisty or defensive or aggressive, what I've seen on some forums, but it's medically significant venom on these. But I love the colour, and so does Lucy. So I've got 2 S. calceatums there, so I want to grow those on. And then to go alongside those, I've also got 2 H. maculatus. So these are only 1 centimetre, really easy to look after. Pop that on because the lid's off on that one as well, so I have to check that nothing's disappeared in the box. More than likely not, because they're within the tissue. So I've got 2 H. max, which you can see the coloration on the screen. I love these. I've had these before. I think I only had 2, and one died in a molt, and the other one died for some unknown reason, not in a molt, which I was absolutely gutted with. And that was from very tiny, from 1 centimetre. I got them up to about 6. So I really want to get those done as well, so that I could say I've grown them on, which would be brilliant. And then another one I've had when I got it a free, I got as a freebie in a mystery box, and it was the, I can't remember how it's pronounced, which is, I think it's a Nando, is it Nando Tripepi? And most of you would have seen these, put a picture up there, but they get big and they get fluffy. And it had quite a character, the one I had, and I had it for so long, and then that went with the others that I sent off, and someone else got that rehoused. But I thought, instead of getting one that's a juvenile or adult, I want to grow them from myself. So I've got 1 to 2 centimetre, I've got 2 of those, so we'll rehouse them in today's video as well. So nothing too strenuous. These 2 will probably just bolt disappear, so probably won't get a look at those, but I'll do that today anyway. And then what else did I get? I can't remember what this is because they've abbreviated it. A P. auratus, or is it a Flamingo chilis species auratus? I think it's the Cuban gold. I think that's right. I'll have it on the screen there, and these are 1 to 2. And these can get 20 centimetres as well. But it was the coloration I've seen where they're the gold, obviously the Cuban gold on the top. But then I've seen others in different forms where they're gold, but then on the abdomen it goes like a purplish sort of sheen, so it's a little mix of colours there, if you can see on the screen. But I don't think I've had one of these. I think I've had the Red Island Tarantulas. That's not this one, but Cuban gold, saw the colour, I thought yes, definitely I'll get that. So we'll rehouse those as well today. So all of these here will get rehoused, and then this one here is the last one, and this is for Lucy. We had one of these off my friend from Owls Arachnids, and it grew on, and it was actually a female, and I was gutted. That one actually perished when I had my tarantulas in the cabin outside, and we had a lot of flooding where I live at the minute, and we get it every year at this sort of time after Christmas, January to February. and we had power cuts and everything, and I was at work and we had a power cut and the temperature dropped and it was like minus something outside, -3, -5, and certain individuals perished, and that was one of them, so I was absolutely gutted. So I've got this, the D. diamanthiensis, put it on the screen there, and Lucy absolutely loved this one with the coloration. So instead of getting one that's a little bit bigger, they had them on the Spider Shop there for 1 to 2, and it's actually out at the top. I'm not sure if you can see that, it's just there at the top of the lid. Very easy to handle, but do a bit of webbing almost like the GBB, but the coloration completely changes, and that's Lucy's one of her favourite tarantulas, so I bought that for her. So we'll get that rehoused, and then I'll show Lucy that later when she gets home from work. So I'll probably do all of these now. I'll just check the box, make sure there's nothing in there. Right, so as I said, these Tarantulas, they're going to get done in their own video. Put them down out of the way. So today we need to rehouse these, so I need to get some enclosures and get them set up, and then we'll have a look at them before I set them up to see if I can rehouse them without anything running off. So let me just get some enclosures and I'll come straight back. Okay, so we've got these 4 enclosures which I'm going to do, 2 for the Tripepe and 2 for the Auratus if they're all in size. So these are the really useful tubs. Absolutely love these, really useful box tubs. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not sure of the size, in case any of you guys out there like this idea with the handles, and they're stackable, but they come in a unit which you can hang on a wall, which is absolutely brilliant. I think it holds like 10 or maybe even 20, but this is just over 3 inches, so 3.5 inches across, the 9 centimeters, and it is 2 inches thick, so it's absolutely perfect for tiny little slings. So got those, so let's put some substrate in them. So there's the substrate in, just to hydrate the soil a little bit, and then what I'll do is, I'm not going to put any hides in these or anything. I'm just going to put something in like this, just like a little green leaf plant or something, just to give them a bit of shelter, because the Nandos probably will want a little bit of shelter to start with, but the Cuban Gold probably will bulldoze and dig around everywhere. And then what we'll do is quick water dish, and I use my little ink pots, and it's a small enough pot that it's not going to oversaturate the soil, leak out, or actually put too much humidity in these little enclosures, but it just takes a few drops to fill them up. And I have seen slings go to these before when they've come out of delivery and then they don't use it again. So let's go with the Nando Tripepe. Just move that out of the way and let's see what we've got in here. Oh, it's a good size already, look, got some slight coloration coming on it. But these do get a good size, and I do like having these. I think these are hair flickers as well. So, but nothing to worry about at this size. So it's a lot bigger than what I thought it was going to be. So that's brilliant. And it's already ran off. How can I have so much trouble from one tiny little sling? It's just ran all over my desk. There we go. So you can see it's a very good condition sling. And this will do perfectly in this enclosure for a little while. There we go, let's just pop the lid on. One down. Right. Let's get the other one in. There we go, that one's more chilled at the minute. There we go, so we got that one in as well. So that's both of those. Now it's time for the Cuban bronze. It says 1 to 2, same size again. Well, that one looks freshly malted. Let's remove that tissue. This one in. Yeah, this one definitely looks freshly malted. The reason I'm not using a paintbrush on these is because they're so delicate and they are extremely hairy on the legs, so I don't want them to get stuck. You can see the feet stick to the stick, but it is a lot easier when you just rotate the stick to get this off. But yeah, definitely want to do that with a paintbrush. But we'll let that one get in and settle. Don't want another escape, just watch its feet. And we'll just do the same again, just a little touch. Because their toes can get stuck on the tissue as well, so we just give them a little tap. This one is definitely in pre-molt. And there we go, no problems with this one. The other one looks actually hungry, but this one didn't. So those were really, really easy to go in. And that is all you need for their enclosure as a setup. They will hide underneath the leaf if they need to. You could put a hide in there if you want to, but I like these smaller enclosures. It gets them used to staying out in the open if you leave them without massive hide, because then once they get used to burrowing and hiding down, they tend to do so until they get a decent size. But if you let them all do it at this size with a leaf, they get some protection, but it's still open. They tend to get used to sitting out in the open. And if you're not knocking the enclosure or scaring them, I find all my other ones just stay out permanently, and it's brilliant. So when they grow up and you want to see all these sort of spiders, then they do stay out in the open. So that's that one as well. Let me just pop the lid on. Right, so this one here is going to be for the Diamantiensis. And this one is going to use a hide straight away because this is more of a shy one at first. And I've just put a plant in there so it can do some webbing, and it'll web off all of this. It'll all be completely webbed over. But I've just give it a water dish in the corner there, just so it's got something to drink, but that'll all be webbed over as well. So do this one slightly different. See, and at the minute it's got no coloration on it whatsoever. Even I remember the Grammostola Pultras, when I got them as tiny, tiny slings, they looked similar colour to this. And they stayed brown for some time before they got their darker coloration. But this one, like I put a picture up there, will just grow to be an absolute beauty. And that's why Lucy fell in love with these when we had the previous one. Kind of feisty with feeding as well, but just when it's sat out there on top of the web, with the coloration, it's absolutely brilliant. So nothing much to look at the minute because it is literally just brown. But let me just see if I can pop this one in. This one actually looks in pre-molt as well. Once you've had enough of spiders and slings, you get used to seeing what their abdomens are like, so you can tell straight away. I just want to try and get this little dude quite bold. Just want to get you to go down and hide. There we go. So it's right down in the corner, and we'll leave that one be. So that's them there. So we've got the two Nando Tripehe. I'm just going to leave that on top, so I'll label it up afterwards. And then we've got the Cuban bronze and then the D Diamantiensis. Right, so now I need to do these, and I'm going to use these pots for my other ones, which is the S Calciatum. Two of those, 1 to 2 centimeters. Absolutely fine to put them in this size. You can put them in sling pots if you want to, and 2 H Max, which are 1 centimeters. These, it doesn't matter what you put them in because they will just disappear and curl up and go to the bottom and burrow, so you won't see them. But you give them plenty of food. Once they've got enough place to hide and they feel secure, then I just ply them with food until they get a little bit bigger and they just chill out and relax. If you give them a longer period of time between having meals, these H Max, when they're this small, then you'll get a lot more rates of them perishing basically. So I just make sure the humidity is correct. They've got somewhere to hide, and then give it a day or so, make sure they've disappeared, and then just put something in extra small so that they don't feel threatened by the movement, and you'll find that they take them. So hence why I got these silent crickets, which I've just put some lettuce in. So those are going perfectly. Put a couple in and they will just start ploughing the way through it, and before you know it, they'll get a lot bigger. So I'll do the same with both of these. So all I've done, these are just little juice shot pots. Lucy goes through loads of these. at the minute. So I've just cleaned them all out. I've done a number of holes around the top for top airflow, and I've done a number of holes around the bottom, and I'll make sure the substrate stays below that bottom hole level when you get transfer of heat, so cool air to heat air. And then I've just done a load of holes on the top as well, and I'm going to put a little ink pot glued into the side just so they've got a point of water, and then I'll also make sure that I put water in the bottom, so there is a bit of water in there jiggling around, which is fresh water, and I'll put substrate on it and make sure that's all moist. So there we go, so we've got 4 of those. So there we go. So I've got an ink pot at the top, hot glued in. I've put a bit of dried moss in there, just a couple of bits of cork bark rested on top of each other so they can go in between it as well. And then a bit of wet moss, and then obviously the moist substrate going around. So let's start with these HMACs, see how fast they're going to be. Hopefully I don't lose one of these. You can see that on there, they're very well fed, and I think once I get this in, I won't see this now for a good few days. So I might even be able to get away for a good few days with not feeding this one, because it's got a really good size abdomen. Just see if I can let it settle and go in there. But you can see it hasn't run off. It is in the light, and they normally do. So they have been established. So I think the spidershop have had these for quite some time. I think they've it's their actual breeding. So I think they've been used to being fed, and they've settled for a while, so this is perfect. So let me just see if I can encourage this one in. There we go, I've managed to get it to go down in. You can see that there. I don't want it to run out, so let me just pop this lid on. And that is one HMAC done. We'll just swap that over, and we'll get on to number 2. This one's a little bit smaller, but really good condition. We go, beautiful coloration already though. See if we can get this one in. There we go. No problems with these. Let me get the lid on. So there we go, I've got both of those in. Not too bad, didn't run off or anything like that, which they have done before. They seem very settled. So that's those 2 done. So that's my HMACs, so we'll leave them there. Now let's get on to Stromatopelma calceatum. Love these ones. Right, so I've got 2, got exactly the same setup again as I showed you. So there's water in the water dishes, everything's in there for them. I just need to get them up and in. So let's bring you closer. These might be really fast and defensive, so let's just have a look. Obviously at this size I'm not too worried. I just do not want to lose it. So there we have the little sling. Move that one out of the way. You can see it's got some light tan colours on it already. I absolutely love these when they get a lot bigger, but these can be fast. I've already had a little bit of trouble with this running around. So let's just see if I can get this one to go in nice and easy. Oh, it turns around to me. Love a defensive one. There we go. In it goes. Let me just pop this on. And that is one down. Let me just do the other one for us. Just going to place it in this tub here because this one's already run over my fingers and is running around very, very fast. Love the coloration of these. Wedging itself in. And these can jump quite easy. There we go. I love their little leg shape, the way they fan out. See if this will work. And there you have it, and it is in. So with these, I'm not going to show you too much at the minute because obviously they've not got a lot of colour and I want to get them in before I lose this somewhere. So we'll just pop the lid on. So there we go. That's both of them in. So that was all of them. So you've got the Stromatopalma, you've got the H-Max, then you've got the D. diamanthiensis, then we've got the Auratus to Cuban bronze, and then we've got the Tripepi. So that's all done. So I hope you enjoyed that video from the Spidershop unboxing. If you want to get yours as well, go to the Spidershop website, or you can do it via my link below, which costs you nothing but helps out the channel as well. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. See me on the next one when I do these, which is the breeding pair which go in there. So you've got the three there, the Tarantulas species. So look out for that on the next video. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.